Hey guys, it's Kyle from InvestorShare here. We're going to go over the recent news with the CPI information for the US dollar and what that means for you guys. And we're going to also go over the Bitcoin chart and see if we can find a good entry for a trade. All right, cool. See you on the inside, guys. All right, let's start off by looking at the DXY on the hourly chart. You can see that we had, this fat green and red candle here. This was during the time that they were actually releasing the CPI information. Whenever Powell speaks, the markets are crazy during that time frame. And it's usually about an hour to 2 hours before it starts to calm down. During that giant candle, we can go over to the Bitcoin chart, and we can see it reflected the opposite, right? We had a giant red candle while it had a giant green candle. But basically, the news, if you guys weren't able to follow it, was basically stating that the U.S. has seen the most inflation it's ever seen in 40 years. So it's not looking good for the U.S. dollar. But what this information means for you is that you can expect that on the 27th or the 28th, depending on where you live in the time zones, that they're going to most likely be increasing doing another rate hike. So during that day, it's probably going to be a bearish day for Bitcoin. So I'm thinking that we're probably going to be staying inside this formation, this bear flag formation, or it could have, we could see a shift in the formation very soon, trade off a whole one altogether. But things are temporarily looking bullish for Bitcoin based off that news. And around the 28th, we probably can expect a bearish day. So I'm thinking what's likely going to happen is we could probably see sideways trading for a bit within this formation, and maybe near an area of resistance, we will see that during that time, we'll have probably a drop in the price action based on like the rate hike news and all that stuff. Anyways, right now, that's nothing to worry about in terms of entering a long position. But around the 28th, you may need to, definitely slow down on your trading until that news is fully released. There's also going to be some more information tomorrow that may cause a large move in the market as well with the PPI information. So I would recommend not trading during that time frame as well, because you will have a candle a lot like this where people just trade off every single word that Powell says. But yeah, another thing I also guys want to know about before we get into the charts and try looking for a trade. I also want to let you know about the Mt. Gox hack that happened back in 2014. So they're actually beginning to give back people's funds from the Mt. Gox hack, and that's about 150,000 Bitcoin. Now, I don't think that all these people are going to sell everything, because these people have been holding Bitcoin since 2014. They've been exposed to the Bitcoin market ever since then, and they most likely understand the halving cycles and how the bottom constantly increases for Bitcoin or throughout history. So they're not likely going to just sell all their Bitcoin. But you got to prepare for the kind of mindset that like retail traders normally have when they hear news like this, that it may cause a black swan event. It might cause a sell-off event in reaction to this kind of news. I do have a chart prepared for you guys. Let me just pull it up here really quick. Just bear with me. I got a billion tabs. There it is, right here. So there's a chart on Glassnode. I share this chart. I'm going to be sharing this chart and tracking this chart ongoing, so we can get a good idea of when the funds are being moved into exchanges, so we can prepare for a potential sell-off. Now, this sell-off, if they sold absolutely everything, it's about $8 billion. And just to put that in perspective, what that'll look like on the chart, let's go back over here. This red candle right here, as we pump from here into the bottom, this candle is $10 billion. So it would be about 20% less of a move than this if they sold absolutely everything. So it's not something that you would like freak out about necessarily, but people respond to that news in a bearish way that could cause the sell-off event. So just so you got that proper mindset for the Mt. Gox, if they sold absolutely everything, which they won't, that's the kind of candle you would expect if they sold absolutely everything. But the news is what will drive the price to go down. Anyways, you can see here in the charts, if we go over to like the 15-minute chart, that we are kind of broke an ugly looking reverse head and shoulders formation. And we're going for the technical target of roughly, now this is a non-conservative target, about 20,950. So if if we build support off this area of interest right here, you could technically enter it late, but if you haven't entered already, I wouldn't. If you got an entry down here, then awesome. Right on, guys, for entering off of this downtrending level support bounce. But it was just outside of a bear flag escape, so I understand your hesitance in not entering a long position around here. Anyways, if we create a new formation, then we can enter off that as well. If you guys are a member of the investor community, you'll know that you'll get a signal very shortly to be able to enter a long position or short position if things turn around. But yeah, in terms of the charts, I don't really got much for you guys. Everything's just really choppy and ugly because of all the news. There's a lot of noise going on. So just based off of this, we're most likely going to see price action go to the next area of interest around 21,000. I would undercut this level if you're already in a position, just so you can get it before the masses do. If you want to ride it a little bit further, then maybe I would recommend waiting until there's like a formation being built, and if there's like a pennant formation or anything like that, you can just increase your stop loss further into the profit zone as we break out of these formations. But that's all the advice I got for you there. Let's see if we can find another signal somewhere else then, since we don't really have much on Bitcoin. Let's jump over to Theta. Always has its own relative strength. Yeah, so Theta has got a bit of a cleaner reverse head and shoulders, but let's see. We also got a broadening wedge formation here that we're breaking to the upside with. The technical target's usually the top of the broadening wedge, and because of how it's spread, I wouldn't enter this kind of trade. So let's jump into another one, because the risk-reward ratio is not worth this. Going over here, let's go to Cardano, because I know they got beaten up a lot lately too. Now Cardano is looking a little bit better for an entry. So if we look at Cardano, we grab the technical target here, pull it off of the neckline. We can see it reaching roughly around 48 cents. If we were to undercut the area of interest, we just go around like 45 cents for the technical target. We first want to see a bounce off this level. If we get a bounce off 43 cents, then we can enter a long position. If we get a double bounce and broke the neckline, even better. So yeah, when it comes to looking for the stop loss, we got to go for the most recent low or use the average true range. But we're going to go by the recent low. So I'm going to get the long position tool out. Let's say we entered around here. We saw a good confirmation bounce. We'd put our stop loss roughly around here at 42 cents roughly. Just roughly right around the VWAP and just below this recent low. And the technical target gives us a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 1.6, which isn't very good, but as price gets further away from this from the support level, then we can increase your stop loss further and further closer to your break-even point to reduce that risk. That's pretty much everything I got for you guys. If you have any questions about this, of course, you can reach out to me in the Discord. I'd love to help you guys out. Even if you're not a member, guys, you can reach out to me in the Discord just by going over here. There's a welcome chat. If you're not a member, you can still reach out to me if you're in trouble with a position or something like that. Like I said, everything not financial advice, but please subscribe. It helps a lot. We're only 250 subscribers away from getting 1,000 subscribers, and that'll be an awesome milestone to get to. Appreciate you guys watching, and have yourself an amazing day. Thank you.